All right, just like to welcome everybody back to the Newsman, Baruch Hashem, Valdik, back in action, Moyerdik, back in action. All right, so there's a famous song, which happens to be a pasuk in the Torah that we just read. Eila told us Noach ish tzaddik. So Noach was a Gavaldik tzaddik, as we know. Let's delve a little bit deeper to understand, what does it mean he was a tzaddik? What did he accomplish in his life? And what specifically is the message that perhaps we can take out in our own lives? So if we go through what Noach, if you understand, take a step back. What did Noach accomplish for the world? What did he accomplish for mankind? In a very simple manner, Noach saved the world. Noach saved all of mankind. All the future of the world was saved by Noach. Without Noach, humanity would have simply been extinct. It would have been over. It's all finished. Noach saved everything single-handedly. Saved the world, saved the future. Everything was saved al yedei Noach. So who was he? Who was this Noach? What was he like? What did he do? Give me some stories about him. So the Lubavitcher Rebbe in Likutei Sichos brings down that apart from the one story that we're all familiar with, which is of course the building of the Teva, which Noach is most famously known and remembered for, so the Lubavitcher Rebbe Lemaisa, there's one other story that we have, and that is he built or planted, more accurately, a vineyard, got drunk, exposed himself, and that was pretty much the last that we heard of Noach. That's it. That's the whole thing. Not only that, Rashi brings a medrash, where the medrash tells us that Noach was mikatnei emunah. He didn't really have that much emunah. He only went into the table when he saw, oy vavoy, this is getting serious. Now we're going in. Which many of the Al-Shech HaKadosh and many of the Mefarshim al Torah explain, the Kedushas Levi, the Heilige Baditsheva, many explain that he lacked a certain, not only emunah, but bitochen atzmoi, the confidence, the value of himself he was lacking. If he would have valued himself more, if he would have had more emunah in himself, then Memela all around him also would have been, so to speak, mushba, they would have been, they would have got that from him. So upon him, he wasn't even the groisa emunah. Not only that, the first Rashi, what do we have? Noach ish tzaddik. Yeah, but he put him next to Avraham. Not such a tzaddik. In a generation where everyone's doing something wrong, maybe it's not such a big kunz to be a tzaddik, because everyone's doing something wrong. You're the one guy doing something right, you're called a tzaddik. No. So again, yeah, there's ways to darshan it. Rashi brings down two ways. But upon him we find that, okay, so he was Mekatnei Emunah. If you put it next to Avraham Avinu, no, wouldn't have been such a special person. But look at what he achieved. Look at what Noach achieved for the future of the world, for where we're standing today. Noach didn't follow what went on around him. Noach didn't follow the trends that were happening around him. The things that people were doing, the places they were going, the things they were saying, the things they were seeing, the things that they were doing. He didn't follow that. He went on his own path. He swam against the tide. And Noach was not tempted by the temptation that was going on around him. He walked with the Rabbeinu Shalom. Rabbi said there's an incredible message for every one of us, and maybe more specifically for this man. And that is, Noach was a life-changing moment for the world, because without Noach we wouldn't be here. But look him as a normal individual, a regular person who accomplished a change of the world like none other. A regular person like Noach. And perhaps that's the message of the Torah. The message of the Torah is, all right, we're coming up soon to Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Wow, unbelievable. Our avos, amazing. Ma'isa avos, Simon Abonim, the Ramban says so many times. Beautiful. But before we even get there, we have Noach. Noach was a regular human being who changed the world. And that's a message to every single one of us. We are regular human beings. We are normal, regular people. We can also change the world. We can also change so much. We just had a few weeks ago Chnossa Sefer Torah. What a schus. Chnossa Sefer Torah we had. Gewaldig. Most of the olam, if I remember, most of the olam at the schus are writing a letter in our Sefer Torah, in our beautiful Sefer Torah. And it was amazing because it's such a small letter. It's such a tiny little thing. You put a bit of ink in there. And if you wouldn't have done that, or at the end of the Sefer Torah, there are a couple of letters that weren't connected. You just, a little line, and you just make a connection. Boom! You have a kosher Sefer Torah. Because every Yid tells us the Arizal has his place, his letter in the Sefer Torah. And without your letter, without you, the Sefer Torah is possible. You are necessary. You are needed. You are someone that can accomplish that no one else can accomplish in this world. You are here for a purpose. The Mesilas Yesharim says, what are you doing here? What's your purpose? You ever think about that? What am I doing here? I wake up in the morning. Baruch Hashem. I can open my eyes. I can see. So I can move my spine. I can stand. There's so much to be grateful for. But what are we doing here? What is the purpose that the Ribbono Shel Olam put us in this world? Why are we here where so many others are not here? The story of Noach is the story of recognizing that we, as regular, normal people, can accomplish so much. The Sefer Torah, the letter that we wrote in the Sefer Torah, represents so much of how a small little letter. A lot of the guys were asking for a yud. Good shaila. Why were they asking for a yud? Pseida. Why? It's the smallest little thing. I want to fill in the yud. Why do you want to fill in the yud? It's the smallest letter. Because even the smallest letter, without that, it would be apostle Sefer Torah. It wouldn't be kosher. You couldn't read from it. You couldn't use it. Hasn't got the kedusha. Because even the smallest letter can accomplish that much. Reb Chaim Vital writes in Shar Gilgulim in Akdoma Lamed Ches. Reb Chaim Vital writes that I asked my Rebbe, who's the Rebbe of the Heilige Reb Chaim Vital, Kavod the Arizal, and he asked his Rebbe the Arizal the following kasha, and he said, Rebbe, you keep telling me that my neshama is so great, my neshama is so beautiful, my neshama is so elevated. How do you know? Where do you get this from? And he asked, and he said, if I would have been in a generation with the smallest of the earliest generations, the tzaddikim of the previous dar, I wouldn't have even reached the ankles. So how can you tell me that my neshama is so elevated? Zuk da Arizal b'shem his Rebbe Reb Chaim Vital. He said you should know that the greatness of the soul is not dependent on your actions. Don't think that the greater you are depends on the great acts that you perform. That is not so, said the Arizal. But rather, it's according to the time and the generation that you are in. And therefore the smallest action in this generation where we are is equivalent to huge mitzvahs that were performed by the greatest tzaddikim in the previous generations. And therefore, a person has to realize, and the Arizal said, we learn this from Noach. Noach was a tzaddik in his generation, because had he have lived in Avram's generation, it wouldn't have been as great. Zuk da Arizal, what do you see from there? From this week's parasha we see that the generation we're living in tells us who we are. And Rabbi said we don't have to look far. Look at the generation that we're living in. Look at what's going on in the world out there. It's a disgusting, low place where people are doing the most disgusting and low things. One rise up, one small act by a regular human being can actually accomplish so much. Rabbi say, don't listen to the world. Don't listen to the world. I don't know if you ever had Rebbe, maybe it was only me. Oh, you have so much potential. I could see it in you. You got that on the report. I don't know about you guys, maybe it was only me. I got that on the card, with so much potential that you have. Well, if only you would use it. Don't listen to those Rebbeim. Don't listen to those Rebbeim. Those are the ones who shouldn't be in chinuch. Don't listen to those ones. Avadi have potential. But it's another way of saying, come on, you're doing nothing. That's what it means. Don't listen to the world that says you can't accomplish anything. You can't get anywhere. Nothing will become of you. I heard that. Nothing will ever become of you. You're not going to get anywhere. Nothing's going to happen. Rabbi Say, you can accomplish the world. You could do so much. You could change the world like Noach did. You're a Yid. You're a crown jewel in the creation of the world. The Rabbeinu Shalom created you as a neshama. And that neshama is so beautiful. Elokai neshama shenasata bi tahorihi. Whatever you do, whatever you saw, whatever you said, whatever you did, your neshama is pure, whether you like it or not. Your neshama is 1000% pure. It might have a few layers on top of it. So it will peel away the layers one by one. But Al Koponim, your neshama is 100% true. It's pure. You're here for a purpose. You can accomplish so much. Look at the people in the world. Just to give you two examples of regular, normal people that accomplish so much. Take the two brothers, the Sephardi brothers who created Torah Anytime. Okay, these were two Sephardi brothers that grew up not religious. They grew up completely not religious. Whole story, how they became religious, whatever it was. They opened up this organization called Torah Anytime. Look what they've accomplished in the world, how many people. I know this myself because I get emails from all over the world. Just a few days ago, one came in from Japan. They come from all over the world for people who are listening all over the world because of two Sephardi brothers that decided to do something. Take Eli Beer, for example, a regular human being. Created Hatzalah here in Eretz Yisrael, saved hundreds, if not thousands of lives. Regular human beings. But they changed the world, Rabbi Say. Every single one of us could do the same thing. Every single one of us could do so much with our neshama. We could do so much with our time. We could do so much with our mission on this world. The Pasuk says in this week's parasha, Shloisha Eile B'nei Noach. There are three sons of Noach. U'me'eile nofza kol haaretz. And from there the whole world was spread. It was a stormy day. There was snow covering the roads. It was hard to get out. It was difficult for people to leave their homes. But there were three Talmidim that walked into Shir. And it was the Shir that Reb Shlomo Hyman, Zatzal, the Rosh Hashiva of Torah Vadas, the Rosh Mayetzes Gedolei HaTorah, one of the greatest educators of the previous generation. He was giving Shir. Three Talmidim walked in and he paid no attention to how many were in the room. It was irrelevant to him that it wasn't a whole Beis Medrash full of hundreds of Talmidim. There were three Talmidim standing and sitting in front of him listening to the Shir. And he gave the Shir with the koyach, with the passion, with the enthusiasm, with the excitement, as if it was a Beis Medrash full of hundreds of Talmidim. After the Shir, they said, Rabbi, how'd you do that? There were three of us. It was snowing outside. There's meant to be hundreds of us in here. Come on, how did you do that? It's not like you gave, okay, there's not so many guys here today. Okay, we'll sit down, we'll give a quiet Shir around the corner. No. Regular Shir. Regular power, fire coming out. How'd you do that? So he said the following. Shlomo Hyman said, I look at you, not as individuals, but I look at you, the Baal HaTanya says the same thing, but he says, I look at you as all of the generations that are going to come out of you. All of the people that you are going to affect in your lives. So when I'm talking to you, I'm not just talking to you. I'm talking to the thousands of neshamas that are either going to come out of you or that are going to be affected by you. By the way, postscript, those three Talmidim happen to be, if you recognize the names, Rav Herschel Waxman, Rav Yosef Klein, and Rav Elias Zvei, three of the Gedolei Yisrael and the builders of Klal Yisrael who gave Torah to thousands and thousands of Yidden. Rabbi Say, the lesson of this week's parasha, the lesson of Parashas Noach is, even an individual can accomplish so much. We're here for a purpose. The Zman is a short Zman. It's not as long as you think it is. Chap every minute. Chap every share. Chap every moment that you have to better yourself, to do what you can. Because every single one of you can accomplish so much. And the Rabban Shem should give us siyata d'shmaya that we get to where we need to get to and we utilize every moment. And Be'ez Hashem, the Rabban Shem give us siyata d'shmaya to change our world and change the world around us as well. Have an amazing day. Amen.